Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and I'm delighted to be with you today to show off on its day of release. Well, actually I'm recording on its day of release. So yes, I'm a couple of days late when it comes to actually publishing the video, but hey, it's the thought that counts, apparently. We are looking at Of Life and Land, which on the 16th of May 2025 was finally released at version 1.0 after spending about a year in early access and a good couple of 2 or 3 years before that in testing and development, and it's looking really good. Well, it's basically a settlement or colony builder, if you will, but there's a bit more to it in the fact that everything in the world is simulated, pretty much. In fact, it says so on the very front screen of the game, which, well, let's get into that right now. Let's not hang about, let's get on to it. So the very first thing you see in Of Life and Land is this little screen, which says that the game is based on a deeply simulated world in which every living creature is always trying to get what it needs from its environment. So we're not talking just about providing a settlement for your humans or orcs or beavers or whatever, and them exploiting the resources of the land to get what they need to fulfill their particular requirements. Everything, all the other animals, fish, domesticatable animals, wild animals, they're all simulated and all have their life cycles in Of Life and Land. Why not? Let's have a look at it. Let's do that.
The year 1012.
There is a fair amount of lore and narration to get through. Well, it's not a lot to get through, but there is lore and background to this, explaining the sort of conceit and the ideas behind the game of why we're doing what we're doing. I'm going to skip over them if you don't mind. You can look them up, I'm sure, if you feel a need to do that. The settings, we'll have a quick poke at settings actually while we're here, because there's some interesting things already in the game. They've been here for a little while now, developed during the early access. We've got all the display options we can want, graphic levels, the hotkeys. Yeah, pretty much everything I believe is rebindable, so a nice selection of those. There's also integration with Twitch. I don't use Twitch as it happens, so I can't really make use of that, but if you do, then you can actually link all your viewers into your game. Or if you're a viewer of a player on Twitch, then you can become part of their world. And there is already a series of additional maps and scenarios on the Steam Workshop, so you can have mods in the game. You can create your own, either new landscapes, new scenarios, or just little assets for use within the game. There's not much at the moment, to be honest, but it's, you know, it's getting there, and there's a full-blown wiki. In fact, as it says it right there. Now, as of release, we've got a couple of new scenarios or locations to play with. The main one which they're stressing is this new Lensburg, which is quite different in the fact it's already got a pre-built castle. Yeah, should we have a quick look at it? Oh, let's do that. I can hide the UI. There you are. Again, one of the other things I love about the game is, although it is relatively simple, sort of poly graphics and so on, it's all very nicely done. I mean, the colour, I think it's the colour that really appeals to me. There's a proper night and day sequence, and the light fades in a nice natural way. There are weather effects and so on. But anyway, Lensburg, there's a castle, and you can build your settlement. I think you can actually build things on the parts of the castle land here, within that area. But of course, most of it will be built down here in the landscape, and you can see it, all this water flowing. There's some what are you, a deer? I've turned the UI off so I can't tell you. You are indeed a red deer, but we'll learn more about those as we play through. So that is a brand new scenario. So let's come out of there. If I press the right key, it lets me do that. So back here, yeah, we're not going to worry about saving that. We've also got a couple of other options, Rysena and Rysena A, which start in different sort of basic locations, different worlds. Now they're slightly more advanced. You don't go through the tutorial with these two scenarios here, likewise with Lensburg. And I don't believe you get a stockpile of resources for these bottom three options here either, so it makes it a bit more difficult to start. The other ones, the Kerzoven ones, This game, you may recall, when it first came into the public eye, it was called Circle of Kerzoven, which I thought was a wonderful name. Had no idea what it meant particularly, but and they have changed it since then. When it went into early access, it became Of Life and Land, although the development team, and indeed the world we're playing in, is called Kerzoven still. So anyway, Kerzoven, we start with 10 settlers. It's a balanced map. There are three different scenarios. There's a kind of plains kind of location, fertile plains. There are the hills and also the lakes. So slightly different resource allocations will apply in each of those. But they are basically perfectly workable. And as I said, you do get a stockpile of resources to start with, so a little bit easier to do. And they always start with a tutorial. I found no way of turning the tutorial off. If there is, please do let me know in the comments box below. I think what we're going to do is go into Kerzoven A. I typically, and I did a series when it came into early access based on the standard Kerzoven map. So let's have a look at a slightly different one, which is Kerzoven A in the hills.
Ah, good that you are here.
Oh, and that is, I believe, our monarch, Elian of Kerzoven. I'm going to skip straight past this. It's all about the building up of existing settlements, a city and so on. Down here it's become overcrowded, overpopulated. There's not enough resources to go around. So we are tasked with finding new fertile lands to expand into up here and the north of the map. And there are various types of regions. There's hills, there's plains, there's lakes, there's some more deserty areas and so on. It is possible using mods and so on to have a purely one city or one area map. So everything is contained within that area. You don't need to go out and trade with other regions to get all the resources that you need. So I am going to skip straight past this.
The situation in the southern part of the empire.
Thank you. And here we are in the hills of Kerzoven. Looking very nice. It is early morning. It's not even 6:30 yet. So as you can see, the light is a bit low. We can see where we're going. I just love looking around this map and the effects. So there are settlers. They've all got names. They're all very much individuals with particular needs. Yeah, I just need somewhere to stay, to keep me warm. And they have various effects, various strengths and attributes, and they breed. The animals breed. Our people will mate and produce offspring, and they will grow up, and well, we'll get to look at that hopefully as we go through this this series. So there are genetic effects, and we'll play with those as and when we need to. But as we said at the outset, all the living creatures like these cattle here, these cows, they also have lives. They form into groups or families. They will breed offspring. They will provide you with resources. So cattle, I think, will provide you with milk and with meat, and also, if I'm correct, leather. So you can use those, you can domesticate those, or just hunt them down. But remember, hunting might impact on how happy the animals are in your environment, and that will have impact on how your settlement grows as well. There's a lot going on here, but let's get our settlement going. I'm trying to ignore the tutorial as best I can. Most of it I'll tick off as we go through. Now, the one thing about this is that our store pile here is vulnerable. So we're going to need to make sure we can replenish this, not just because we'll use it all up, but also some of these animals will eat our food. Yeah. So one of the first things I like to do is fence that in. So I'll do that. What I need to do as well to start with is provide some basic resource collection facilities. So suggesting we build a forester's stump. So let's do that, shall we? Using the build mode down here. A forester's stump. And it will highlight for us where the reach of this facility. So all the green dots indicate resources it can exploit. And there may be some yellow ones which are partially exploitable. It does tell you somewhere all about this. There is a fair amount of help and tooltips, which is quite handy. But I think if we place it here, we're not replacing any exploitable resources. So I'll put you... I'll place you there, I think. Okay. We're also going to want a gathering shack, which will collect all the things we don't cut down. So things like wheat and fruit and vegetables from the bushes and the trees and the like. And what I'm going to do here is I'll put it close to our food store, actually. Like, yeah, I'll put it there. That would be good. And we also want a stone masonry, or a stone mason to collect all the stone. And stone can come from either quarries or individual boulders, rocks and so on, which your stonemason will break apart. We'll place ours now. There's a bit of a road coming down there, or a path, so I don't want to get in the way of that if I can help it, I suppose. So let's place you. We could go up there actually and get more. Actually, that's not a bad shout. Let's rotate you. So if I put you there, so we're getting all the same ones down below, but we also gain access to the ones on the top of the ridge there. Yeah, let's do that. I'll put you there. And as I said, I also want to put in some fencing around our food stocks. Now, at the moment we can only, well, we can build a wooden fence which requires just branches to build, or a stone fence which requires stone. Do we have stone? We don't have any materials at all at the moment. No, we just have water, food, or fodder, and food. Yeah, so fodder I think is material which you can turn into edible food, or feed your animals with if you domesticate them. Food obviously is stuff that we can eat directly. So we don't have any stone, so trying to build stone walls as well as getting the stonemason going, I think it's a little bit premature. The benefit of the stone wall is it will prevent all the critters from getting in and stealing your food, whereas this wooden fence prevents the larger creatures getting in, but it allows the small creatures like the foxes, not necessarily the foxes, but certainly the rats, raccoons, hares and the like from getting in. I'll go up to there, yeah, and then I want to turn this around to go, no, stop that then. Let's rotate this, go along there. How much do we want here? Zoom out a bit more, get myself some space. Can I? No. Can I bring it in? I don't want to use too much wood for this. I'll go up to there, and one more actually. Yeah, and that'll close it there. However, we are going to want our people to be able to get out of this fenced area, because without a gate on this, they can't get in or out of the gathering hut. So I'm going to put a fence in. But to do that, I'm going to need to demolish one of my selected fence areas. So we'll take you away, I think, and also you. Did I take you away? Don't think I did. There, you've gone now. And also one this side, I think. There, you've gone. I'll put a gate in there. I'm putting these gates in on all these sides because I need the people using the gathering hut to collect stuff need to have access to all around. Why are they complaining? No idea. So if I have a gate just here, then it makes it more difficult for them to get over here to collect these fruits, berries and whatever. So if I put a gate here, then they can easily get out there. It's their travel distance, basically. Also, the forester stump is ready to go, and this will be manned by a particular employee, Waltrand. Now, different buildings, different resource collection or production units will have different number of workers you can hire to do them. We'll see that when we get to the gathering hut. When that's completed, we'll see that in more detail. But the activities of all these, you can actually prioritise activities for your buildings. So to cut down trees and collect branches, that's good. Collect mushrooms, and you can change the order of these as you see fit, using these little arrows. or you can indeed pause some activities entirely, so don't do that. But I'll have them collect mushrooms, why not? They can take that into the gathering hut or other storage spaces. That is fine. So we can plant trees, both just for wood and for fruit. We can also plant gardens and sort of wheat farms and so on as well. Put you there, yeah. It's good. And what I'll also do actually is I'll put some garden beds in alongside the gathering hut round here, I think. Yeah. Which will help us keep our fruit and vegetable supply up and going. Now I can prioritise the building of this shack. I'll do that by upping that priority there. You've either got don't build, i.e. pause, lower priority, medium priority, or high priority. The gatherer's hut is now done. So again, this is going to be, they are going to be collecting grain from the wheat fields, and that will grow through the seasons. Fruit and vegetables. Again, all these growing things have a life cycle through the year. We're currently actually in early spring. See there it says spring is active. And also ground and water supply. So depending on what location you're in, this looks all fairly fertile. Does this tell me... So this gives me the heat. So some things require a good deal of heat, some don't require heat so much. Again, water table levels, you've got water here and it's much higher up at the top there. You've got a key here, yeah, where the water is, and dirt, which gives you an idea of pollution and things, I think. It's actually been a while since it must be near, it's again approaching a year since I last really played this for my early access season. So I'm not sure how all these things work, so I've got a lot to remember to do. So, okay, so we've got fences and gates in, so that's good. So our shed, yes, our gathering shack here has access to all around. If I didn't put those gates in at the side, then it would limit. Oh, you see down here? Sheep steals from food crate. Now, the fence will prevent the sheep doing that, but the hares and the raccoons are still able to get in under the hedge. Like... What's it? There's something... what's that? Sheep. Yeah, it looks like a raccoon, but it's not. It's just a thieving animal. It's doing that. Yeah, so these gates allow my collectors to get out either side quite easily and get to these places. In terms of employees, yeah, as you can see here, the gatherer's hut, or shack as it calls it, can host 3 employees, 2 of which are kind of mandatory. So these will be filled. If there's anybody not working, they will come and do this job. And so far, Reinhardt and Runa have taken up those jobs. If I want to put someone else in, speed up gathering, I can tick that, or I can actually hire someone specifically from this list here. Again, the thing to remember, if you know it to start with, you can remember it, but one thing to know is that people can do more than one job. So if doing, say, gathering isn't taking all their time, then you can give them something else to do, like making clothes or tending the fires and that sort of thing, I think. But we're not going to do that. Ida, we don't actually need you there, so I'm going to take that away. So I want people unemployed to do building more quickly. So how have we done? Oh, a roof over. We've done all the stuff we need. We've got the stonemason working, the gatherer's hut, and the forest stump. I also want to put down a residential area. And okay, this space here doesn't seem to have much growing in it at the moment, so we'll use that as our residential zone. I'll put some road down to start with, so I've got some guidelines of where I'm going. So if we put that along there. Now the yellow dot there is telling me I'm actually overlaying something that could be used as a resource, which is, I think it's wheat. It's wild wheat. So I'm going to lose that when I put road down. The green icon there tells me no problem, you can build a road here, it's perfectly fine. So if I put that to there and then come up here a bit, yeah, that's all good. And then we can build some community buildings, these straw huts, which are these. I can rotate them. Now, if you use tab, you can actually get different styles of hut. In fact, many of the buildings, maybe not many, but several of the buildings do have variations of look and style. And you can use the tab key to flip between them. So we'll just take a basic round hut like that. Yeah. I don't know if there's a way to fix it to one style for your preference. I haven't found that yet. If you do know, then just please do drop a note into the comments box below and tell me what that might be. Otherwise, you just got to tab through to get the one you want, which would be that one or something like it. Okay, now these straw huts are very basic. They support 2 people. I've got 10 settlers, so I've got 2 people who won't have a hut to start with. But that's okay. They'll survive. It's only spring after all. It's still quite warm. Oh, we can. Don't forget. Tutorial reminds me. I can change the name of our settlement. What should we call this? Just click up here. Ajaxpost. That's a perfectly decent name for a settlement, isn't it? Yep. So this is Ajaxpost. Oh, this is our people. I think we saw this a moment ago. Yeah. Now, people, as we saw, have needs. So if we look at Arthur here, his needs. Food and water. He needs shelter. He needs clothing. He's got some rags at the moment. He needs doesn't want to freeze or burn to death. He's basically healthy. And here is our health marker here. So if I meet all these requirements, he will level up, and that will mean that my settlement levels up and I get more advanced buildings to place down. And you can see how close you are to leveling up, each individual here, on this percentage here. So I've got people at 50% and above getting close to leveling up. I'm meeting their needs. So certainly having those shacks, those straw huts, will work out quite nicely. Is that sheep still in there? Those sheep are still in there, aren't they? Right, what I can do is I think, can I escort it from somewhere? Yeah. Escorts the target from a fenced area to freedom. Right, we will build a barn at some point, I think in this episode, because I like barns, to house our domesticated animals. Now, animals, as we said, do have needs. So they have a need for shelter and food. And domesticated animals will like that. If you can put them into a barn and keep them fed and watered and healthy and warm, they'll like that. Now when these people wake up, it's not quite 6 o'clock in the morning yet. Let's speed time up a little bit. It does go quite fast if you want it to. 30 times, that's too fast. Right, the sheep are free, the straw huts have been built. Now spring will end, we'll get to summer, but we'll eventually then get to autumn and winter. So we could do with somewhere to make firewood and fires to keep our people warm. Even inside their huts they might get chilly, because these aren't terribly secure and warm spaces, are they? So we're going to need somewhere to make firewood, and that is in the production buildings, and that is the soaring place. So place you... Okay, what I can do... Well, you've got 2 entrances, that's fine. What I'll do... Actually, if I place you there... We also want somewhere to create clothes, which is a rudimentary tailoring table. And I'll place you... there, I think. Yep. And this can make clothes from... Well, okay, we'll look at that when it's built, because it's not telling me yet. Do I want to put more roads in here yet? I suppose I could build that 5th straw hut, couldn't I? We'll go on then. Another straw hut, so that all my people are housed. We'll use that style for that one. Okay, good. People, do we know where they live? We do. If we click on a hut, we can see who lives there. So this one is Reinhard and Walter, or Waltred. And does this tell me... It's unfulfilled. He owns a home. Okay. But you do have a straw hut you live in, which is that one there. We could even name these. We could each give each building a name if we wanted to. I'm not going to. That's a bit over the top, really, isn't it? Okay, we've got everything built that we need. What's next? Oh, we haven't got any rough rags produced yet. Now, our rudimentary tailor here. Ah, right. Okay, so they can make rough rags from grass or wool. Okay, we'd need to hunt or domesticate sheep for that. And they make more... They can make better, but still basic clothing by adding rags to leather or wool. So I think, even before we get into the summer, we could do with some better clothes. So what I'm thinking is domesticating sheep. Now my slight issue here is where would I put those sheep? Could put them out here perhaps. Notice a hare just stolen from a food crate. They do actually also, if a household stores food, they will, like that straw hut is actually storing grass, then, ooh. Oh, that's a person, Millie. This hut, you've just got grass as well. They will, those little creatures will steal from the huts as well, which is very rude of them. Anyway, I want to domesticate some animals. Sheep would be good, I'm thinking. Now, if I put a barn here, it covers up those sources of fruit. However, I could plant these, couldn't I? Actually, what we can do, let's plant some... We've got a garden here. Let's plant some other stuff in here. Let's go into here, and there we go. We can plant fruit trees or palm trees. It'll take some time to grow, but we'll get plenty of yummy fruit from it. Now, it requires water, root, bark, and also compost, which is that strange symbol dirt there. We're going to need a cesspit for that. Cesspits we don't have the opportunity to build just yet. Oh, no, we can. Someone has reached level 2. Right, who is that? Let's go into our list of people. And that is Andre, or Andre, has reached level 2. So I can now go to the building option and have level 2 buildings I can use. One of which is a cesspit. Right. Okay, we can do that. I can plant my fruit trees then. That's a bush. And that gives me fruit. Ooh, hang on. So that requires just 2 roots to plant. Now, one thing about this game which kind of gave me a little problem to start with, it's still a little problem because my eyesight isn't as good as it should be. Age does that to people apparently, and well, other things do it as well, but in my case it's mostly age, I'm afraid. You can make the UI bigger, so if you find this text difficult to read or the UI too small on a large monitor, then there is a UI scaling option within the settings of the game. I'm currently I'm on a 1920 monitor, and I'm currently at 1.2 I think is the scale I put it to. You can put it up significantly more than that if you need to. So this produces, oh, that's a wheat field. Now a bush produces leaves, bark, branches and fruit, whereas the fruit tree produces possibly more fruit. Yeah, let's put a fruit tree in. Over here. Yeah, we'll put a fruit tree there. That is good. Also, now we're at level 2. Actually, we've also got an option in level 2, if I remember correctly. In resource collect. Oh no, fishing is a level 1 still. Are there any fish around here? There should be. We've got waterways. So we got trout. Aha! Yes! These little yellow dots here. Can I zoom in on here? No, that's rotating. I've forgotten what the zoom keys are. Right, if I click in the main area of the world, not on the mini-map, yeah, these are trout. Well, they're homeless. Can we build homes for fish? I don't know. There's more here. Okay, So I think putting a fishing place here could work. Yeah, we've got fish. Yeah, around there. That's fine. We'll put you there. Whoops, I need to stay here. I also want a cesspit, which I think was a community. It is a community building. A cesspit, which means we can fertilise. Oh, actually, no. That just looking at this, the colour of that requires that is that strange same colour, that sort of yellowy colour as we had. So a cesspit is not necessary to fertilise your plants and stuff. They just need general pollution. Okay, we'll leave the cesspit for the moment then. Well, let's build ourselves a barn. Now ideally a barn would be within an enclosed area, a sort of fenced-in field to keep your animals in the same area. So you don't have to go and hunt them down whenever that you need to hunt them down for slaughter or whatever, or for sheep shearing, for example, for the wool, or milking for that matter. But I'm not going to waste more resources on fences, I think. We'll just build a barn, which was here. There we go. And where shall we put it? If I put it here, I'm losing those resources, those fruits. No, we'll put it there. We'll put that there. That's good. Okay, so our next quest is produce, again, mostly food and stuff. Oh, it's raining. Can you hear it? You can certainly see it. Again, I like that. It's a properly immersive environment. Anyway, we want to create, according to our quest, a hand mill. There you are, for turning that grain which we're gathering into flour. And we'll place that... we're going to have a road along here somewhere. Yeah, we'll place that there. And we want the oven, which is that as well. And actually, just looking at this, it's night time, isn't it? So I can't really see it properly. There's no variations on that one. I'm pressing tab, but nothing different is changing. We'll place that alongside the grill, at the mill rather. It's not a grill. I will put some road down here just so I can properly see what I'm doing. Actually, the road is along there. Yes. And also along here. I suppose I could do it to there as well. Yeah, so that completes that sequence there. So from the residential zone into the gathering, the fenced area, and to our production resources up there as well. Also do with a campfire, going to our quest, which is where people can go to cook food. And also gather around and sing songs and tell stories. And, social... right. Our barn is built. Now this is going to be housing... sheep. It's defaulting to sheep. Excellent. Which is what I wanted. We could choose different animals. From deer to hare. We could domesticate cats, apparently. Or cows or chickens, which would be nice. Here you see upgrades. So there are upgrades we can put for storage and other things. We'll get to that as we need to later. But for the moment, we'll keep things basic and simple. Now, if I change that to cow... I will only be able to put 2 cows in here because they're bigger than sheep. But and cows will give us milk and meat and leather when you slaughter them, whereas sheep will give you wool and milk without having to be slaughtered. So activities, housing, the sheep. Yeah, here it is. On the sheep themselves, milk and wool. There you go. So I get 2 wool from that. And if I slaughter them, I will get meat from them as well. And I slaughter them by various means. I can either set them to automatically be slaughtered once I exceed a population of 3. So, for example, if 2 of these sheep actually made a new sheep, they bred, so I ended up with 4, then the excess would be slaughtered. So it'd take me down to the maximum of 3. So I'll get meat from that. Otherwise, my livestock manager would simply take care of taking milk and wool from them. And we're doing... Oh, hang on. Just being aware of this. Is this the maximum amount of water we keep in the barn? I don't want to keep too much water or grass in here because we need grass for other things like making clothes. So, okay, if I change this maximum, I can either take it down by pressing this little arrow, or I think... Yes. Actually, I'll change that to 200. I can type it in. That's a little bit quicker. And for the grass... 150. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be the actual maximum they're allowed to collect or not. We'll see that as we go through, because I don't want all my resources being held in the barn for the animals. Right, the hand mill is done. We just need 6 more stone. Oh, and a bit more work. So this is the work effort people put in. That's good. Oh, it's done. Excellent. So that will employ someone. Someone working there yet? Not yet. Just realised with all these production buildings, yeah, I've now got no unemployed people. I can give a person more than one job, as I think I've said already. We may need to do that. But to complete this current quest, I need a campfire. I do like to complete these quests, so let's do that. And there's a community building. There it is, campfire. It's a level 1 building. Okay, we'll put that just outside the village. Yeah, over here. Yeah, I'll put that there. That's lovely. So they'll carry on building that. In fact, looking at our people, we've got quite a few on level 2 already, doing very nicely indeed. 33% progress towards level 3. Most of the others are very close to being... Ooh, hang on, something's happened. Deal with that in a second. Again, if we look at Waltrud here, their needs have escalated. Not just food and shelter and basic rags, they need proper clothes. And they don't want to be dirty, and they're going to want a way of keeping themselves clean. And a community centre. Not just a campfire to gather around, but a community centre to learn stuff and do trade. Oh, and there's a campfire in action. They're singing songs, they're telling stories, talking to others. And that person's gathering. Looks for food. That's good. I love that. It's so lovely. What is happening next? Eliane is coming to visit in 5 days' time. And if I press toggle the quests, all that turns them on and off. If I go here, now it brings up the full journal options. So that's us arriving. Where to put... Ah, someone has noticed the settlement is getting a bit dirty. So we do want a cesspit. And scenario, that's basically just describing where we're at. Okay, so someone wants us to put this in. Ah, right. Just noticed that. Reward. If I put the cesspit in, I'll get 2 times immigration. Does that mean 2 new settlers? Oh, job. I've got 2 job vacancies. Ooh. What are they? If I go to the faction list here, I've got unemployment here. Now you can see here what the workload is. So Molly is doing fishing. That's taking 77% of her work time, I think, to do. Most are 100%, a few are around 90. Okay. Census. Oh, right. What creatures, including us people, are here? Okay. Ah, right. So this is work. Ah, right. So this is the number of people working there. Ah, the campfire. There's nobody working at the campfire, cooking meat and stuff. So, is there really no? Oh, there isn't. No. Okay. Where are all these people building too many things? I've got. It's the fisherman's places. Okay, we'll take someone off from here. So we'll fire Runa. They can look after the campfire. Ah, because that's right. That's the 2, isn't it? I made the tick there meant there is a job there to be filled. But I think we'll get away with not having it filled for the moment. Okay, let's build that cesspit, shall we? Which might bring 2 new people into our settlement, into Ajaxima. So our cesspit is here. There it is. It doesn't want to be close to our residential area. Oh, that green tinge there, I think is suggesting dirt. Yes. Or nutrient rich. Oh, maybe it's not nutrient rich. Anyway, right. That's our fishing place there, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, let's put our cesspit. Ooh, right. We better build the pit a little way away from the houses. Okay, we could place it around here somewhere, perhaps. Then down here. Okay. Hopefully that's all right. He said, hopefully. Ooh, one thing I've just realised actually is our fishing place here. There's no direct way back to the village apart from going through the cesspit. Which hasn't started building yet. No work has been done and no materials provided to it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that. Oh, sorry, demolish it. That's it. And put it... Actually, let's put it up here. Yeah, we'll put that up here, I think. Gets a bit of away from the village. It's kind of near the production area, as it were. Put you there. So I can actually then build... Yeah, so my people here. Let's build this bit of road, shall we? So it's faster to get... Oh, yeah, as you can see there, he's got raw meat. So that's the fish they've caught, or Molly has caught. So it's quicker for them to get that back up here into our main storehouses. Actually, we've got 3 sheep. And 105 milk. Oh, and look at our food at the top there. 2.4. Oh, we're doing really well. Right, that's built. And cesspit. Dirt goes into the cesspit. Decays becomes heat. Also, it could be quite warm there. It'd be handy. Dirt is carried away by... goes into the environment, which is used to fertilise crops. Okay, I'm sure that makes sense. There's no workers required there. That's good then. What I was thinking was, oh yes, the tailor here. I need to change the task activities here. So we're making rags from grass. I don't want to create rags from wool though. I'd rather create proper clothes from the wool. So we'll create rags using the grass, and then we'll use wool and those rags to create basic clothes, which will be warmer and more protective for our citizens. That should take care of that. Are we getting any new people? We're still 2 empty beds. Are they going to turn up at some point? Where was that quest thing? I'm going to put dirt. It requires... Oh, hang on. I get 10 stone. Rough-hewn stone as a reward. Oh, does it need... That is a cesspit. Yes, it's built. So why is it showing 0 there? Okay. Oh, no, if I get to level 3, then I get the immigration. How close are we to level 3? 72... Oh, 83%. Molly, how are we doing here? We just... Oh, they want a community centre. That's what this icon here means. Right, now community centre, I think we saw that earlier, is a bit of a big build. Requires a lot of material. And where could we put this? I'd like it to be in a sort of prominent place. Now that... Let's see, where's our stone... Where's our stonemason? Oh, you're up there. You're getting stone from there. So I don't want to place it over the stone. I like quite when I did the early access play, I did put the community centre up on a hill. I'd like to do that. Ah, we could put it up here actually. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, let's do that. We'll build a community centre. Guild house. Also, there's also a market for trading. I think is that. Yeah, that's level 3. We're not going to get that yet. Oh, this is a properly big building, isn't it? Can I rotate? No, you're not going to fit there at all, are you? Oh, so it can't go there. Could go behind the houses here. Perhaps. Actually, yes, let's build it here. I think behind the houses. Alongside the campfire. Or, on this space here, overlooking the water. That would be quite good, wouldn't it? I think. Yes, we'll put that there. Okay. I'm not sure how long that's going to take to work. 600 work hours, or whatever that number represents. Okay, they're getting quite a bit of material in. Right. I'll fast forward through this bit, and we'll build the community centre, hopefully. And at that point, we'll wrap the episode up. I don't think we're far away from completing our community centre. All the work has been done. Actually, the stone is going to be the issue here. Yeah, we're not producing enough stone quickly enough. Can we do... There's an upgrade here. So this is processing speed. And that costs for rough-hewn stone every year to maintain that improved processing speed. I'm going to leave that for the time being, I think. What else? Oh, one other thing just to sort of catch up on. Our fruit tree is grown. Look at that. And bearing fruit already. And you can see here, this is what I was talking about in terms of the environment of growing things. Is it's got growth phase along here. Yeah, sort of, I don't know, they're different colours mean it's getting there. And the nutrients, that's all, it's in the right area. Could do with better, but it's got sufficient. The soil is in very good condition. And the temperature is about right. So depending on which environment you're in, whether in the mountains or the desert or a moderate climate like this, will affect how well your growing things grow. Grows fast. Good. Has good soil. Good. Right, again, I'll just skip forward a little bit until this community centre is completed. Eliane has turned up. Sorry, the community centre still isn't built, but Eliane has turned up. And as she said on her journey, she's going to be exploring this part of the world. So if we now press M, aha, here's the map. These are the other places we can go to. Ajaxpost, which is where we are. That is... Okay, this whole map is Kerzoven. Oh, the question mark's here. That, yeah, click on that. Too far away to discover. Okay. Now, I think, if I remember how the early access played out, once we get our community centre up and running, we can send out expeditions. Yeah, we need to build a community centre to start reallocations and faction requests. And then we can explore these other places. Well, there's lots of them. Good. But we'll take care of that. And we discover... Yeah, we need this community centre to be built. Once that's done, we can then send out an expedition. Which would be the next episode in this series. Which if you want to see, do remember, give me some feedback on this video if you've enjoyed this, if it's worth me carrying on developing Ajaxpost here in Of Life and Land. A little bit of... Oh, it's not quite built. Not quite built. No. It just... Oh, it's just the shading. Yeah, that confused me slightly. Yeah, so if you want to see more of this, then do like the video. That's the first step, obviously. Give it a quick thumbs up. Even better if you've got anything to say about what I'm doing with it, how it plays out. If you're looking forward to playing it, if you've not yet got it. Remember that 40% discount until the end of May 2025? You know you want to, really. Then put a note into the comments box below, and that will encourage me to do more of these. You know, I'd quite like to. So if you want me to, I'd like to. And we'll do more diplomacy and explore the marketing and the trade and farming, all the other good stuff, and mining. There's so much more to discover, and our impact on the environment in terms of our animals and the like. Right, another quick cut and we'll be ready. We're just about there. As we can see here, the community centre's everything it needs apart from one rough-hewn stone, and Andrea is currently bringing it to the location. And we have a community centre, which gives us all sorts of things we need. No workers, that's okay. And invite the next person. Possible immigration. We've got 2 free beds. Invite the next person. So what are we seeing here? Possible immigration. Oh, that's that's taking us to this page here. Yeah, let's accept the next person. Catalina has joined. That's just one person. That's okay. That's fine. Still, nobody is unemployed. They did promise 2 people, didn't they? Yeah, hopefully they will turn up in due course. Anyway, I think this is probably a good time to finish this episode of our first episode of the release version, May 16, 2025. Remember that date? It's already happened, in fact. I'm a little bit late to the game, I'm afraid. There you are. We have Of Life and Land. And this is my very first episode of this released version. If you'd like to see more, then please do let me know by liking the video, and or even better, commenting, putting a note in the little box below. It would be awesome to hear from you. And some ideas on where to go next. If you're enjoying what you've seen here, and enjoying the game if you've already got it, or if you're looking forward to it, it'd be great to hear from you. But yes, that's it. Don't forget to subscribe, so you're made aware of when I upload another one of these, or indeed any of my other Let's Play series. So from me, Ajaxpost, for now, I will say thank you so much for joining me for this episode, the first episode in the new series of Life and Land. And until the next time, bye-bye for now.